All right. Morning we stopped with a small explanation there. I want to give some notes continuation there. I think today is anyway 21/6/2021. All right. Okay. There is that. We gave this explanation. Some points we wrote. I want to give some notes regarding that. So in a note only continuation. A row. Okay. Product of a row with its cofactors. Basically, I should write like this. Sum of product of a row. When I say row, it is also column. A row with its cofactors is determinant of matrix. Is determinant of matrix. Another point, sum of product of a row with the cofactors of another row. With cofactors of another row is 0. Basically, that's what we proved. You take any row, multiply its cofactors, or any column, multiply its cofactors, you will get determinant of the matrix. But if you take one row and multiply its cofactors of another row, it is 0. It is not only for 2 by 2, 3 by 3, it is for 100 by 100 also. So even if you take A into adjoint A, even if you take a big 100 by 100 matrix, another big 100 by 100 adjoint matrix, definitely no doubt you will get det A 0, 0, 0, 0, det A 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, det A all zeros, again all zeros at the end det A. Okay, why? This is first row, these are cofactors of first row, so you will get det A here. This is second row and these are cofactors of second row in that adjoint matrix, the transpose of cofactor matrix, that's why det A. This is third row and this is cofactors of third row, that's why this is det A. So like that we'll get, and first row into cofactors of second row 0, first row into cofactors of third row is 0, first row into cofactors of fourth row is 0. So even though we proved only for 3 by 3 matrix, but actually with that we got an idea how A into adjoint A is det A into I for any n by n matrix. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think morning that means before all these things, did we write A inverse equal to 1 by det A into adjoint A? We wrote this step at the last?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, fine. Okay, now we'll take one example and try to find its cofactors and adjoint matrix and all that. Okay, A is equal to (3 minus 3 4), 2 minus 3 4, 0 minus 1 1. Zero minus 1 1. Okay, this is just a question. Find A inverse. So even though they asked find A inverse, we have to write all the steps. Okay. So I'm going to write like this. Capital A11 is cofactor of A11. Okay. Normally this is A11, this is A12, this is A13. I'm writing capital A11 is cofactor of A11. What is the cofactor of this element? You can even write cofactor of 3. But when I write cofactor of -3, whether you're asking this or this, there may be a confusion. That's why I'm writing like this. Okay. What is the cofactor of A11? Determinant -3, 4, -1, 1. -3 plus 4, which is equal to 1. A12. Cofactor of A12. I have to write -1. If you write -1 whole power 1 also, it's very nice. It's nice. This is minus, this is perfect. This is -1 whole power 1 plus 2. And to forget about this row, this column 2401. That is minus of 2 minus 0, which is -2. Okay, like that, we have to write all 9. I'm just giving some idea. A13. Try to write on your own all the cofactors with proper working also. Cofactor of A13. -1 whole power 1 plus 3. Forget out this row, this column, this 2 minus 3, 0 minus 1. 2 minus 3, 0 minus 1. This is positive. -2 minus 0, which is -2. A21. Cofactor of A2. -1 whole power 2 plus 1. Forget about this row, this column. -3, 4, -1, 1. Minus of -3 plus 4, which is -1. A22. Cofactor of A22. -1 whole power 2 plus 2. Forget out second row, second column. 3, 4, 0. Try to write all 9 on your own. A31. cofactor of A31 minus 1 whole power 3 plus 1 minus 34 minus 340. A32 cofactor of A32 minus 1 whole power 3 plus 2 3424 minus of 12 minus 8 minus 4. A33 cofactor of A33. Okay. Can somebody check whether all my cofactors are right? First I got 1, next minus 2, next minus 2, minus 1, 3, 3, 0, minus 4, minus 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to also find that A. You have to write cofactor matrix. So cofactor matrix of A is equal to, okay, let me write last ones. 0, minus 4, minus 3, minus 1, 3, 3. This is minus 2 and this is minus 3 plus 4, 1. This is minus 2. Next, adjoint matrix is transpose of cofactor matrix. One minus two minus two, minus 1, 3, 3, 0, minus 4, minus 3. Next, that 1 into 1, minus 2 into minus 2. Again, minus 2 into minus 2. 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 9. So this is 3 into plus 3 into and 4 minus 2. 3 plus 6, 9, 9 minus 8, 1. Determinant of A is coming 1, huh?
Yes,
Yes,
one.
sir.
Okay. Okay, now simply write A inverse equal to 1 by delta into adjoint A, and the adjoint A itself is on. So I'm erasing top 3 lines. So A inverse equal to 1 by det A into adjoint A. 1 by 1 into all this. 1 minus 1, 0. Minus 2, 3, minus 4. Minus 2, 3, minus 2. Okay, so this is how we'll find inverse of a 3 by 3 matrix. Inverse of 2 by 2 we found already in the morning class. It is very easy because we have a formula 1 by det A into interchange the main diagonal, other diagonal put minus. 3 by 3, quite a bit of work is there. Usually you have to write working also. They may give for 7 marks, sometimes 4 marks this question in the board exam. Okay, everybody completed the inverse?
Sir, just a minute.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now we can see on the screen. This is exercise 3 from IP textbook. First, find the adjoint and inverse of the following matrices. First two are 2 by 2, they are very easy. Next two are 3 by 3. You have to follow all this process to find adjoint and inverse. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the second question, they want us to find A inverse, again 2 by 2 matrix. Here there is one I. What is I here?
Complex.
Root over minus
Complex
Root
number.
over -1.
Yes.
Root over -1.
I square is -1. Okay. Next they ask here, third one, find A transpose whole inverse. Okay. So either you can find transpose and then do the whole process, or you find inverse first and then you transpose. It doesn't matter. A transpose whole inverse is same as A inverse whole transpose. I am going to prove that, but you can use it. Either way is fine, not a big deal. Okay. Look at the fourth question. Now they want us to find adjoint A and then show that it is 3A times A transpose. So you really find adjoint A, you will realize, okay, when you find adjoint A, you will realize 3 will come common everywhere and it will become 3 times A transpose. After that, A inverse is normal form. Okay. I'll explain about inverse of a diagonal matrix, but here you follow the whole process. This is simply they want to find A inverse and really find A into B into A inverse. And then we'll see. Look at second question here. I'm talking about this question. If I want to prove that A inverse equal to A transpose, do I really need to find A inverse? Or is it without finding that long method of A inverse? Is there any way to do this second question? You prove A into A transpose is identity matrix. If you prove product of two things as identity matrix, what did you prove?
A inverse is equal to A transpose.
Yes. So you don't have to really waste your time finding A inverse by long process. Simply find A transpose, multiply A into A transpose, you will get identity matrix. And then say, so A inverse equal to A transpose. That's all. Okay. But here 3A is there. You have to see that carefully. So what to do? That 3 you have to divide all over here. Every element. All 3 elements, all 9 elements you have to divide. Then only you have to find A transpose. Look at third one. Without finding A inverse, anybody want to give an idea how to prove A inverse equal to A cube?
A to the power 4 is equal to identity matrix.
Yes. You don't have to waste your time, really find A cube, really find A inverse. First find A square. A square is A into A. All right. Next, you find A power 4 straight away without even finding A cube. A square into A square. You will obviously get an identity matrix. Then you write A power 4 as A into A cube. And say A into A cube came identity matrix. So A inverse equal to A cube. Done. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This last question in this exercise is not a nice question, because when the definition of B equal to A inverse is that if AB is equal to BA equal to I, if AB equal to BA equal to I, then we can say B equal to A inverse. That is a very definition. They cannot ask AB equal to I, show that B equal to A inverse. But since they ask, what will you do is, let us you take AB equal to I. How to prove B equal to A inverse? Multiply the A inverse on both sides from the left. This is A inverse. Here also multiply the A inverse from the left. What is A inverse into A?
Identity matrix.
Identity matrix. Identity matrix into B is equal to, you will get A inverse into I. What is identity matrix into B? B.
B.
What is A inverse into identity matrix? A inverse.
A inverse.
Hence proof. Right? Okay. So these are, I gave you IP solutions already. So later on when you try exercise 3E, try on your own. If you don't get, you have solutions available. Look at them. You'll be able to do mostly. They're very easy exercise. Okay. I am not saying do this today itself. By tomorrow, you can complete all the even numbers up to 96 or something in determinants now in mains material.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Moni, already up to where you have completed in the mains even number?
Sir, I
Sir, till
completed up to-
80.
Till 80 we completed, sir.
Okay. I'm asking Moni. Up to
Sir,
where
I
she has
completed
done.
up to 76, sir.
All right. Okay. So all of you try to complete by tomorrow. Okay. So that I can discuss doubts. Okay. Now what I'm going to discuss is some properties of adjoint and inverse. Okay. Which in IP in theory they are there, but in the exercise questions they are not there. Okay. So what I'm going to discuss now may not be required for board exam, but they're very important for JEE mains and JEE advanced. Okay. So now inverse matrix has many properties and adjoint matrix has many properties. Out of that, inverse properties are very, very easy to prove. Adjoint properties are little difficult, but by using inverse, we'll prove it. Okay, let us see them. Okay, so you just write properties of inverse of a matrix. Properties of inverse of a matrix. Okay. I don't want to call it as first property, but it's actually very easy to understand. That's why I'm writing. Let us say if A is equal to A0, 0, 0, B, 0, 0, 0, C, then A inverse is 1 by A, 0, 0, 0, 1 by B, 0, 0, 0, 1 by C. For a diagonal matrix, finding inverse is very easy. Just write reciprocals of the diagonal elements. How to prove it? Multiply these two, you'll get identity matrix. That is the proof. You multiply these two, will get identity matrix. A0, 0, 0, B, 0, 0, 0, C into 1 by A, 0, 0, 0, 1 by B, 0, 0, 0, 1 by C. This into this is 1. This into this is 0. This into this is 0. This into this is 0. This into this is 1. This into this is 0. This into this is 0. This into this is 0. This into this is 1. So we got identity matrix. So hence proof. Okay. Okay, second one. AB whole inverse equal to B inverse A inverse. When you multiply two matrices, find the inverse of that. That is inverse of second matrix first into inverse of first matrix. Okay. One may say, I know already this. In transpose only I know AB whole transpose equal to B transpose into A transpose. Right? Just because the formula looks similar doesn't mean that proof is actually helping you to prove this. No, it's completely different. And the proving of this is very easy. Remember one thing, anything about inverse is proving very easy. If you want to prove X inverse equal to Y, if you want to prove X inverse equal to Y, very simple. Prove XY equal to identity matrix. That's all. If you can prove this into this as identity matrix, you prove this inverse of this inverse of this. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So whenever you have something whole inverse equal to something, you want to prove this, very simple. Take this without this inverse. Product is identity matrix. You prove that, you proved it. Okay, so what is the proof of this? Without inverse, take AB into B inverse A inverse. According to associative law, without changing the order, this can be written as A into B inverse into A inverse. But B into B inverse, the very definition is identity matrix. So I'll get A into identity matrix into A inverse. A into identity matrix is A inverse. And anything into its inverse is I. Okay. Fun fact, if somebody says, why not AB whole inverse equal to A inverse B inverse? It's obviously wrong because you multiply these two, you don't get identity matrix. AB into A inverse B inverse. You cannot even don't know what to do after that. Okay. Third one, I don't have to write proof, but similar to this, ABC whole inverse is C inverse, B inverse, A inverse, everything on reverse order. If you not remove this and multiply, you'll get. In fact, if I have anything A1, A2, A3, so on up to AN whole inverse, it is AN inverse, AN minus 1 inverse, A3 inverse, A2 inverse, A1 inverse. Inverse of everything in reverse order. Okay, fifth one. A square whole inverse is A inverse whole square. Anyone want to give an idea how to prove this? That is, you first square the matrix, then you find inverse, or first find inverse, then you square it, it will be same. We have similar things in transpose. A square whole transpose is A transpose whole square, but their proof is different, here proof is different. Anyone want to give an idea for fifth one?
Sir, if we can write A square whole inverse as A inverse into A whole inverse, and then by using the second property, we can write in reverse order A inverse into A inverse, then it will be A inverse whole square.
Yes, very good. So proof. In point 2, take A equal to B. That's all, nothing else. Or B equal to A, anything so. Take B equal to A. So in the place of B also you write A. Here A into A whole inverse. That is this. This is A inverse into A inverse. That is A inverse whole. Okay, so far, anybody any doubt?
Sir, from third one, you leave. Sir.
I'm not erasing. Okay.
Okay.
So generalization of this, a power n whole inverse is equal to a inverse whole power n for all natural numbers. Here, if you take all a, okay, proof. In point 4, take a1 equal to a2 equal to a3, so on equal to an equal to a. You take all of them a here, you get a into a n times, that is a power n whole inverse, a inverse into a inverse into a inverse n times, you get a inverse whole power n. I should have written this first, but it's okay. A inverse whole inverse is a. You take inverse and find inverse of that, you will get original matrix only. If somebody wants proof, it is very simple for this. A inverse into A is I. Everybody knows that. So for this inverse, for this inverse. What is the inverse of this? A inverse whole inverse, that is A. That's all. Okay, anybody is not able to understand anything, I'll wait. I'll only copy and try to understand. If any doubt, you can ask me. Eight. Ka whole inverse is equal to 1 by k into A inverse for k belongs to real number except 0. Okay, that means let us say I take number 20 times A. If you want to find inverse of that, it is 1 by 20 A inverse. Let us, somebody knows what is A and what is A inverse. If you multiply matrix A with 20 and find inverse of that, compared to original inverse, what will happen? It will be 1 by 20. Anybody want to tell me how will you prove this? Eighth one or this one?
So 20 power minus 1 into A inverse.
20?
20 power minus 1 into A inverse.
Yeah, it's okay, but that is a number, na? It is not 20. We should 20 power minus 1, I'll write. Okay, but how will you prove this? I'm asking. It is not that this minus 1 is given here. It is not like AB whole power m is A power m into B power m. They are not real numbers. This is a real number, but this is a matrix. And this is not like minus 1 in real numbers. This is like inverse. I already said, whenever you want to prove x inverse equal to y, very simple. Leaving this inverse, if you can multiply this product is identity matrix, your job is done. Okay, how will you do now, eighth one?
K into 1 by K A inverse.
Yes. Forget about this. Multiply these two. If you prove identity matrix, you prove it. Okay, proof. Ka into 1 by K A inverse. I'm taking without this product of these two. Okay, the K and 1 by K are real numbers. I can take them out. K into 1 by K into A inverse. K and K will cancel. I'll get only A inverse, which is I. Product of two things is identity matrix, means for this inverse, for this inverse. Eighth one is very simple proof, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ninth one. A transpose whole inverse is A inverse whole transpose. You take a matrix, transpose it, and then find inverse, or first find inverse, then transpose it. It is same. Even though theoretically we can understand, I want you to write proof. Again, the proof is same. Without inverse, take this and this, prove identity matrix. So I want to take A power transpose into A inverse whole transpose. But A transpose into B transpose is BA whole transpose. It is A inverse A whole transpose. Since A transpose into B transpose equal to BA whole transpose. What is A inverse into A? Identity matrix whole transpose. But identity matrix, even when you transpose it, you will get identity matrix only. So this into this product came identity matrix. So for this is inverse. Prajot, maybe you understood the morning class, but here some points maybe if you are not able to understand here and there, don't worry. All right. Is it that for some people afternoon network is not as good as in the morning? Huh? I don't find any difference. I'm asking others if somebody finds a difference.
Sir, if we connect with the mobile data, there will be difference.
Mobile data comes to an end, sir. That's why.
Okay.
About
Wi-Fi is not an issue. Mobile data afternoon is not good sometimes.
yes, sir.
Because in the afternoon, many members will use mobile data.
Okay. Okay. 10th one. Let us see if somebody can tell this. Adjoint A whole inverse. Of course, I can write adjoint of A inverse. I can write. I'll write that later. Okay, leave that. Adjoint A whole inverse is A by det A. If we find adjoint matrix, find inverse of that. We'll get an original matrix by determinant of that. That number you have to divide. If you want, you can write it as 1 by det A, just a number into matrix A. Anybody want to prove this? 10th one?
Sir, because A transposes 1 by det of adjoint of A, so adjoint of A inverse is A by det of A.
Why did A transpose came into the picture here?
I'm sorry, sir, that was inverse.
Okay. In fact, we proved this mainly. What is that? A into proof I'm writing. A into adjoint A equal to adjoint A into A equal to det A into I. Did we prove this?
Yes, sir.
Actually, from this only we divide with det A and wrote
Yes, sir.
A into adjoint A by det A equal to adjoint A by det A into A equal to I. This into this or this into this I means we wrote A inverse is equal to 1 by det A adjoint A. Almost same. Instead of dividing here, I will divide here. This is just a number I can divide here or here. So I am going to write instead of this as A by det A into adjoint A and adjoint A into A by det A is identity matrix. This into something is identity matrix means that is inverse of this. So directly I can write adjoint A whole inverse is equal to A by det A. Is it okay? If product of two matrices is identity matrix, then one is inverse of the other. Okay, for some people in the beginning, these things will be a little confusing, but actually as we use it more, it will become more clear. I'm sure some people are getting a little bit confused, right? No, that's good. Okay. Adjoint of A inverse is also A by det A. Not adjoint A whole inverse, adjoint of A inverse. Okay, how will I prove this is, I know A into adjoint A equal to adjoint A into A equal to det A into I. Before that, I would have written one more statement. It's okay. I'll come there, not a big issue. Okay, now wherever A is there, I can write B also in this statement. I can write B into adjoint B equal to adjoint B into B equal to det B into I. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
It's just a name. I can write A or B or C, anything is okay. But I am going to write A as A inverse. A inverse into adjoint of A inverse equal to, maybe I should have written one more statement and then that is better. Okay. Okay, I want to change it slightly. One or two more points I want to write and come back. Sorry if somebody doesn't like to scratch in their notes. 11. Det of A inverse is 1 by det A. You take inverse matrix, find determinant of that, that is the reciprocal of original matrix. Let us see if somebody can help me to prove this.
Sir, determinant of A into 1 by determinant of A, sir. It's identity matrix.
That's what, how it is, how will you prove it?
Like sir, multiply. I mean, just forget about the A inverse and A into 1 by A.
Sorry, two people said something, but I'm not clear.
So determinant of A into 1 by determinant of A is 1, sir, or determinant of identity matrix.
Yes. Basically, yeah. Anyway, I think all three people said same. That's it's a matter of telling how you tell clearly. That's all. Otherwise, I think the point they're making same. Everybody knows this formula. The det of AB is det A into det B. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You multiply two matrices and then find determinant of that. The determinant of first matrix into determinant of second matrix. In the same way, I know A into A inverse is identity matrix. Whenever two matrices are equal, the det also equal. So I will apply det on both sides. Det of A into A inverse is det of I. And determinant of identity matrix is always 1. Here I am using formula det of AB is det A into det B. So det A into det of A inverse is 1. This is just a number, take it that. You will get determinant of A inverse is 1 by det A. Just A into A inverse is I, apply that on both sides, you will automatically get this.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, A inverse we can also write it as 1 by det A into adjoint of A.
But det of adjoint A, we don't know formula yet.
Sir, for adjoint A we can write in, identity matrix into det A by A we can write. No?
Sorry, you are saying A inverse is 1 by det A into adjoint A. That's fine. If you want det of this, I have to take det of this. But I don't know what is the det of this.
Okay, sir.
Okay. 12th one, I just want to write this as adjoint A is equal to A inverse into det A. I know A inverse formula is adjoint A by det A. I just brought it here. That's all. Nothing much.
So this you can prove as A inverse is equal to 1 by det of A into adjoint A as well.
Yeah, correct. So I'm not trying to prove because just this denominator det A, I just brought it here.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. I'll be using 11 and 12 points for proving my 13th point. That's why I told them, but it's okay. What is 13th point is adjoint of A inverse is A by det A. How? Proof. I'll use this adjoint A. Okay. Adjoint A is equal to A inverse into det A. Wherever A is there, I can write B. Adjoint B equal to B inverse det B. I can write C. Adjoint C is C inverse det C. I want to replace A with A inverse. Okay. Replace A with, you can replace A with B or C or anything, but I want to replace with A inverse. Then what will happen? Adjoint of A inverse is A inverse whole inverse into det of A inverse. That is adjoint of A inverse is equal to A inverse whole inverse is A and det of A inverse is 1 by det A. So 1 by det A into A. Proof. So anything you want to prove regarding adjoint, we will not be able to prove it. We will use this. Convert adjoint quotient into inverse quotient. For inverse, we have already all the properties. We will use that.
Sir, means adjoint A whole inverse equals to adjoint of A inverse.
Yes, that is my next point. We're using 10th and 13th together. So 14. Adjoint A whole inverse is same as adjoint of A inverse. Okay, proof. Just you can write from point 10 and 30. I think that's it. I covered most of the properties related to inverse. Okay. Just I told this in the beginning also, it's okay, no problem anywhere, right? If det A not equal to 0, okay, if det A equal to 0, A will not have inverse. A will not have inverse. Okay, and A is called singular matrix. And if det A not equal to 0, then A will have inverse. And A is called non-singular matrix. Okay. You know, if det A, because one way is, you know, A inverse formula is 1 by det A into adjoint A. If det A is 0, it will not be defined. You don't have to go that far. If I take A into B is identity matrix, then only I will say inverse of this. This is inverse of this. This is inverse of this. Am I right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If I apply det on both sides, I'll get det A into det B equal to 1. Now tell me, can one of these two numbers be 0?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Any one of them is 0, the product will be 0 there, but we want 1. So obviously det A should not be 0, det B should not be 0. Okay. Because if det A is 0, definitely det of AB is always 0. How can it be identity matrix? Because identity matrix cannot have det as 0. So that is the reason if det A is 0, A will not have inverse. And just to remember, you can call this, it is alone. It doesn't have any companion inverse. So that's why A is called singular, lonely matrix. Okay. If det A is not 0, not only A is there, its inverse is also there. It has some companions. It is not alone. It's not singular. So A is called non-singular matrix. Just I'm telling so that you'll remember. Singular means det A is 0, no inverse. Non-singular means it has inverse and det A not equal to 0. Okay, now I want to, these are all about inverse to be done. Properties of adjoint matrix. I may not complete everything today due to less time. I'll not extend so much, 5 o'clock or another 5 minutes and I'll stop. Okay. Very first one, it will help to prove in many properties is adjoint A, you can write A inverse into det A. You know A inverse is adjoint A by det A, but you bring it here. You want to prove anything adjoint, convert adjoint to inverse, use the properties of inverse, and then you write it, it will be easier.
So this point is there in properties of
Inverse, yes. Still I wrote it here because in rest of the proofs of this properties I'm going to use this. That's why I mentioned first.
yes.
Okay. Second one, adjoint of AB. Okay, that is you multiply two matrices and then find adjoint matrix of that. Adjoint of AB is adjoint B into adjoint A. one may say by now I'm quite familiar with this because AB whole transpose is B transpose into A transpose. AB whole inverse is B inverse into A inverse. Everything come reverse. So obviously adjoint AB is adjoint B first, adjoint A later. Just because something resembles another one doesn't mean you proved it. Okay, or it is easy to understand. No, the proof is from the beginning. But for this, we are going to use this proof, the previous statement. Okay, the proof is obviously I'm assuming that A not equal to 0, that B not equal to that in that case. Even when that A, that B 0 also the statement is correct, but the proof is not based on what I'm proving. Let time, that's why I'm writing. So now adjoint of AB. Based on this, I can write it as AB whole inverse into det of AB. Based on this. I said any adjoint, I'm going to convert into inverse. AB whole inverse, we already have a formula. First B inverse, next A inverse. Det of AB is det A into det B. Now this and this together, these are just numbers only. I can rearrange it and write det B into B inverse. And det A just a number into A inverse. But det B into B inverse is adjoint B. Det A into A inverse is adjoint A. So this is adjoint B and this is adjoint A.
Sir,
Yes, please.
sir, here we can change the order of data in that B, but we can't change order of B inverse and A
Yeah,
inverse.
yeah, because these are numbers. You can write 2 into 3 or 3 into okay. But these are matrices. So first there should be B inverse, next only A inverse. You cannot change the order of matrices. You're right. Okay. Other one or two things I'll write, but I'll not write the proof. Similarly, adjoint of ABC is adjoint C into adjoint B into adjoint A. Hope all of you are able to follow comfortably.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If somebody after this class goes through them once again, if they have any doubt, tomorrow class I'll explain once again, not an issue. Okay. So if somebody has a little confusion, I'm writing all the steps, go through them. If any doubt, tomorrow morning you ask, that step I'll explain or that proof I'll explain once again. I can even generalize this as adjoint of A1, A2, so on up to AN is adjoint AN into adjoint AN minus 1, so on adjoint A2 and adjoint A1. Similarly, adjoint of A square is adjoint A whole square. And adjoint of A power n is equal to adjoint A whole power n for n being natural number. Okay, once you prove second one, similarly third one is just application of that, fourth one is application of that. Take A equal to B here, we'll get fifth one. Take all A here, we'll get sixth one. Okay. Yes, Hemant, what is your doubt?
No, sir. No.
Okay. So what we have done for two things, similarly I can do for three things very easily, and n things here. And take A and B are equal here, both A, you will get this. And you take A here, A here, A here, you will get this. A into A n times. Here adjoint A into adjoint A into adjoint A n times.
Sir, this adjoint is only applicable for square matrix, sir.
Yes, inverse adjoint is only we talk about square matrix.
Sir, what about eighth one?
Eighth one. Yeah. I want to, the reason I just left it here is I wanted to think about how to do this. Anybody can give an idea. Seventh one is very common sense. That is, you take matrix A, find all the cofactors and transpose it, or first transpose it, then find all the cofactors. Basically, everything got interchanged only. So, adjoint of A transpose is obviously adjoint A whole transpose. That is very obvious. So, I don't need up to 7 proofs because 3, 4, 5, 6 are based on second one. Seventh one is quite common sense. Eighth one, I wanted to think about the proof. Here n is order of a square matrix A. That means if A is 2 by 2 matrix, it becomes 2 minus 1. If A is 3 by 3 matrix, that A whole square. 4 by 4 matrix, that A whole cube, like that. Maybe I'll just try 2 more points there. If A is 2 by 2 matrix, det of adjoint A is equal to det A. If A is 3 by 3 matrix, det of adjoint A is det A square. In general, for any n by n matrix, it is this. If it is 2 by 2, det of adjoint A, det A are same. If it is 3 by 3, det of adjoint A is det A whole square. Okay, up to 6, everybody copied. Can I erase this part?
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Okay, all right. Tomorrow we'll do then 1 or 2 more properties we'll discuss, and we'll do a lot of questions using these properties. Then you'll get a better idea. There may be some confusion definitely in the beginning, but when we do enough questions, use this formula this way, that way, and all, that confusion will go. You'll get a better clarity. So wait for till tomorrow morning class. After that, when we discuss enough questions, still if you have any doubts, I'm ready to explain the whole concept what we discussed today once again from the beginning. Not a problem.
Sir, we should do mains material sums also now.
No, based on adjoint, you don't have to do anything now. Okay, what you have to do is based on the determinant, mains up to 97 or something questions are there. In that even numbers you have to do. That's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is exercise 3D. You have to complete. Okay. If you completed these two, exercise 3E you can do it. Whatever is required for exercise 3 I covered. All right.
Okay, sir.
But by
Yes,
tomorrow,
you can rub, sir.
yeah, by tomorrow, I want everybody to complete mains even numbers wherever determinant stopped, which is 96. I think. Yeah. By tomorrow, mains up to 96, we can try to cover.
Sir, up to Wednesday, by tomorrow, if we cover mains up to
96.
and exercise 3D by Wednesday, we should complete, sir.
Yes, you are right.
Okay. And from Thursday, you will start, means like the exercise 3D, sir.
Exercise 3E also you should do by Thursday. In the meantime,
Okay.
I'll be discussing some of these properties and I'll do some questions and mains material, some more odd numbers. I'll do. Okay. So, everybody copied 7th point and 8th point?
Sir, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll stop now. And 8.2, think about it. If anybody wants to tell me tomorrow morning class in the beginning, you can tell me. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, I'm stopping. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.